7. Barrett outside, the switch. Doncic goes all out. Great step. And then he hammers it home. Broke his ankles.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about Josh Primo and what do the San Antonio Spurs have in him. It went on to be a shock when he was selected 12th overall in the 2021 NBA draft. He was literally being projected in the second round. He's a 6'6", 189-pound shooting guard with a 6'9" wingspan. Yes, he has some nice physical tools, but he lacked the production. But he's a very young player. He's only 18 years old, and he's not going to turn 19 until another few months, I believe. But I'm going to be breaking him down, what I like about him, what he has to work on. But again, he's young. It's all about potential. But with the 12th overall pick, it definitely was a shock. But the Spurs are a well-run organization. They got to be patient with him, and I really think they will. So no further ado, let's get right into the video, y'all. So when you look at Josh Primo, his numbers aren't really appealing at all, only averaging 8 points per game. Yes, he shot it well from beyond the arc, but it was only on 3 attempts at the end of the day. So there wasn't really any big time pop when it came to Josh Primo's game, but it looks like the San Antonio Spurs really fell in love with the kid. They fell in love with the prospect of what he can be. At the end of the day, yes, he is 18 years old, but the way he really carries himself is like an NBA veteran. The way you really hear him in interviews, he just looks very aware. He knows he has to get better. He knows he has to work on certain things in his game. So I think that's very important. No matter how old you are, you got to be very aware, and it really looks like Josh Primo is aware at a very young age. He's very coachable, and the San Antonio Spurs look for coachable types of players, especially because Greg Popovich is very demanding. He holds you accountable, but he also isn't too much up on your neck, if you know what I mean. But just talking about Josh Primo, I like his physical tools. He's a shooting guard that's 6'6", 6'9" wingspan. He's 189 pounds. You could say he definitely needs to get stronger, but you could say he's continuing to grow. He's only 18 years old. This dude was 17 years old playing collegiate basketball. That is insane to really say out loud. But Josh Primo on the offense side of the basketball definitely has some upside when it comes to shooting, or he's going to come in and shoot it very well. He shot over 41% from beyond the arc on catch and shoot threes. He's really good at relocating, giving up the basketball, moving without the ball, coming off of screens, and just knocking down shots. So he has really potential when it comes to movement and catch and shoot when it comes to translating over to the next level. He even had the green light at times to step behind the arc and just as soon as crossing half court, just shoot it from beyond the arc. But he played with guys such as Herb Jones and also John Petty at Alabama, so he definitely did play with some NBA caliber talent, or some very talented players over there at the Alabama program. But I like how he could shoot the ball. We're talking about someone also who has some shot creation potential. He's really shown, he even showed it at Summer League as well. I really like his ability to create from beyond the arc, to really create separation, but you'd like to see him create and work downhill. Also, it could be very predictable the way he handles the basketball. We have seen that he's very right-hand dominant. You would like to see him use his left hand more, because it really does result into turnovers when he's just very predictable when it comes to his crossover or his bag of moves in his arsenal. So working downhill, he really needs to work on, but I feel like he's going to eventually start doing that when he gets stronger. I like how he has that floater in his arsenal. That's something you really need if you're not the most physical. But because he's not the biggest of athlete in the world, in workouts, he really showed he's a good athlete, but he didn't show he has that big time burst. He's not really an above the rim athlete, so he's really going to have to work on the details to really refine his game. But again, he is 18 years old. He might spend some time in the G League, but we saw Patty Mills go on to sign with the Brooklyn Nets, so he might get an opportunity. And this is kind of like a whatever year for the San Antonio Spurs. You lose a DeMar DeRozan or you move on from him, you're kind of officially in rebuild mode. Yes, you could say DeJounte Murray kind of has a high contract, but when you take a look at things, Josh Primo, I like his potential as a shot creator. He can really shoot it off the ball. He didn't really have a lot of ball handling duties, but he has shown he could also make basic reads out of the pick and roll. He could shoot it coming off of screens. His awareness and how smart he is coming off of screens, his feel for the game, in my opinion, is off the charts for an 18-year-old. But yes, at the end of the day, he only averaged 8 points per game. You're drafting him for what he could be moving forward. Can he really lock in and make sure that floater is just his bread and butter? Can he really exceptionally shoot it well from beyond the arc? And he does have potential as a three-way scorer of working downhill with that floater, really using that craftiness, shooting it from the outside and mid-range territory. But they're all about efficient shots at Alabama. As he discussed in the Mike Schmitz interview, they didn't really take a lot of mid-range shots there, but he has the touch. You could say he didn't get to the free throw line a lot because he didn't dribble penetrate, so he only shot 78% from the free throw line. If he got there more, I thought he would have shot it better from the free throw line, in my opinion. But you could say his handle still needs work, becoming more versatile when it comes to his overall bag of moves in his arsenal. But I really liked what I saw from him in summer league or just the collegiate level. But again, is there a way that he can get involved more in the offense? How are the Spurs going to utilize him? So now getting into his playmaking, I'm not really expecting him to be a big-time point guard at the next level, even though I do think he has potential when it comes to playmaking. He could definitely make the open reads or make the basic reads, the smart reads, the reads you think you should really make as a basketball player, especially in the open floor. When he's not thinking, when he's just playing very confident, working downhill, that's where I think he absolutely thrives, because in the half-court setting, it's really hard for him to open up his teammates at times unless someone's open outside on the perimeter, because he has that lack of burst to really dribble penetrate, work down the lane, and dish it inside or get the defense to collapse and kick it to the outside. But Josh Primo, he has ways to go when it comes to that department, but he has said in an interview, he watches a Devin Booker, he watched a Bradley Beal. I'm not saying he's going to be a Devin Booker, but we saw Devin Booker get better from year one to just multiple years in the league, and he's still young. He's continuing to get better every single day, but he's really progressed as a passer, Devin Booker, and he's just a very difficult shot maker, and I feel like that's definitely going to put pressure on the defense, and it's going to open up the offense even more for the San Antonio Spurs. But again, he is 18 years old. We don't even know if he's going to be playing a lot of games. He might be in the G League. And I think a very important thing to talk about is how composed he is, how he's just unfazed for someone that's so young, because he is literally wise beyond his years. He doesn't the way he interviews or the way he really answers questions. He's just very self-aware. He loves the game. He's a student of the game. He's just willing to learn every single day, and I think the Spurs, they're going to have patience with him because they know he wants to be great. They know he wants to at least be a good player, and even if he doesn't end up having this star potential, I think he could be a very solid 3-and-D guy. He could shoot it very effortlessly. But yeah, getting into his defense, I think he has some big-time versatility, kind of potential there, being 6'6" with this long wingspan. You could say he needs to get stronger if he wants to stay in front of those more physical types of guards, but I love the way he plays the lane. I love how engaged he is, and he's only going to get smarter. And he didn't even average 2 fouls per game. That just shows how smart he is. He doesn't reach a lot. He knows his capabilities. Sometimes he may not make the biggest of play on defense, but he knows when to just stay in front of his man, just shut him off. But again, if he wants to even get better as a defensive player, I think getting stronger is a big time part of that. But he has good feet. He moves his feet extremely well. But a guy that's not the strongest in the world, he's gotten stronger throughout his NBA career. DeJounte Murray, a tall guard with some length. He really knows how to play the lanes. He knows when to reach. He knows when not to reach. But I really do like his potential on the defense side of the basketball, and he's engaged, and he just wants to learn to get even better on that side of the ball. But let me know down below your thoughts. Do you think Josh Primo is going to be a good player at the next level? I really do think he's going to be solid at worst because he's extremely coachable. He might be in the G League a little bit, but this isn't the greatest of Spurs roster for being real. But he's coachable. He has some talent. We'll see what goes on to happen. And as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, yo.